Guerrilla stomping in a zoo.
Hello YouTube, this is Mr. Crazy again. I'm back. Hunter x Hunter got release day, chapter 389, Curse. At the time, Shikaru committed suicide. I was in the Seventh Prince sleeping chamber. There were 5 people that were there apart from myself. The moment of the gunfire, Seventh Prince Ukazum himself berated from his private guard Ridge and Bashu from the Hunter Association and the 2 Queen soldiers Fumu, for a total of 6 people. Lazarus was smoking legal drugs while watching a movie as usual. Up until the gunshots sounded out, we were more concerned about the rumbling, and so our attention was not focused on Shikuku's in the entryway. The second Queen soldier went to check on his window when Shiku shouted out, "Live long, First Prince." Benjamin pressed the muzzle of the gun to his temple and fired. Judging from the fact that the rumbling ended as nearly the same time as the sound of the gunshot, we can determine that there is a clear connection between someone's ability in Ninth Prince Hawkenbird's camp and Shiku's suicide. So then, looking back at a situation where we knew he killed himself reluctantly, the idea that he was forced to commit suicide as a condition for some kind of bargain that was struck is very likely. So then, are you saying that in exchange for the provable gun that was pointed at my head to be lowered, he chose death himself? If we assume that rumbling was caused by a emitter, the kind of destruction power they would be capable of would be presumably something that the likes of a fireball of 5 meters in diameter, surpassing the speed of sound. Any non-Nen user caught by it would be dead on the spot. Okay. Kenjiro. For the most part, I do agree with your assignment of the enemy's attack ability, but I have 3 problems with your theory. That he is forced into suicide as a result of a bargain. 3. Would you please tell me what they are? First, assuming that Shiku's had come to the same conclusion that the rumbling was caused by an emitter. Preparing his attack. Would he really think the Prince Hawkenbird was truly ready to make an attack? We are here in the VIP's areas at the heart of the Confinement Surveillance Center. Prince Hawkenbird could have discovered this by way of his assassin giving word through the Queen. But if he did know our position, then to attack here, he would have had to blast straight through some of the lower prince's quarters that we're in, both forcing someone to commit suicide and letting lower princes get caught in that attack greatly goes against the Ninth Prince's profile. Even if we assume we had a sudden change of the heart in deciding to participate in the succession war, this massive of a change this sudden is far too unnatural indeed. The second, why suicide? If you were going to force Shiku to do something, wouldn't ordering him to assassinate one of the other princes be more beneficial? You have a point. And the third, can fellow princes actually kill one another in the first place? Excuse me? That's a good question, actually. That's actually a really good question. It is both my and First Prince's Sir Benjamin's opinions that if our Nembis could kill one another, or if our Nembis could kill other princes, then this whole ordeal could be resolved quite quickly. But if either of those were possible, then there's no way that Sir Benjamin's Nembis, who has inherited his own personality and traits, would have not acted on its own by now. Which means that Nembis cannot kill one another, and that a Nembis cannot directly kill another prince. We can assume that this is the rule built into their very nature. I see. Furthermore, all the princes that acknowledge the fact that an absolute law of killing a member of royalty is a capital crime will appeal to them as well. So for a prince, the killing of another prince being extremely taboo and embedded deeply in their minds. So it would only be natural that all the princes' Nembis also function with that restraint logged into their consciousness. We know that before boarding the ship, then Prince Hockenberg was unable to use Nen, which means that if that rumbling was caused by his Nembis, and it was targeting the first prince, it would be breaking its core rule. Even if, for example, the prince's abilities were somehow awakened through the aid of his Nembis, there's no way a Nembis would enable the user to use of an ability that could let a prince directly kill another prince. God damn, this guy talks. Well, I had really thought it through that far. So then, was Shikuru being controlled after all? Even if he were, that still doesn't explain why he specifically committed suicide. Besides, Shikuru himself was a manipulator. He would have been able to take countermeasures against a manipulator's opponent. In a battle of manipulators, the first to strike wins. When the assassin activates his ability, he would first target himself, then would defend against any opponent's manipulator attacks. I had no idea about that. It's one of the most core concepts for manipulators. There are a lot of people that don't know about it. Leon might not have known about this either. If so, then I'll have to give up on the idea of placing him on Princess Hockenberg's guard. But then, if all that's true, why did he commit suicide? The key to that way lies with the one other doubt I have. Why did he die in front of room 1007? His mission should have been one that required utmost discretion and attention to detail and security. Remember, the condition at the time with as much detail as possible can, and keep an extremely close eye on the actions surrounding room 1007. As of now, which we will research for the answer to why. 10 a.m., 9th day. 10th day, Tuesday, 11:30 a.m. The fourth rumbling. Rumble, rumble. The intervals between them is growing shorter. Victo, what's going on? I heard something clicking twice. Is that their emergency? They're fighting. While First Prince Benjamin still has the radio on. Rumble, rumble. It's not working at all. Your Highness, it's no use. Damn it. Prince Hakuman. Invisible. Rumble. Attack have no effect. Gah. Gah. Click. Victor's tactical shield is both an offense and defense ability. Even if he were unable to completely overpower Prince Hockenberg, I believe he be more than capable of holding his ground while keeping the enemy movement and actions under check. It seems Prince Hockenberg is more suited to combat than we expected. On top of that, once he completely preparations for his attack, it's likely to carry enough force that it would be possible to defend against. I wonder if the rumbling is from the Prince 7 or Prince 13, the guy who is learning Nen, and his Nen is super powerful, and he's learning it super quickly. I wonder if it's from him. Or maybe not, because no, I don't know. So even if we know it's coming, we can't defend against it, avoid it, or even fight back. This is far behind the class of ability that any individual would be able to match it in such a short amount of time. We should look at it as a bow formed by the entirely his private guard. Exactly as you say. His force and efficiency are beyond anything we imagine, and he has resolve firm and fierce enough to give up a life for each and every shot. Sheku's had died, but Biko is still alive. And it wasn't through just a simple immediate attack that such mystery. I need some kind of lead that I can't afford to waste any more pieces like this. Should I have Muzo or Owl, which is currently attached to second prince, attached to the prince private guard instead and search there? That doesn't sound like a good idea. We know even less about second prince Kameha's ability than we do Hockenberg's. Prince Kameha's ability kill Musa instantly. That alone makes it a viable threat. We need to keep him under surveillance. Besides, even if we're able to see the enemy attack someone, I still have great doubts that we'd be able to determine what exactly their ability is. But clearly, we're in a state of emergency regarding Prince Hockenberg. Do you have some kind of plan? Please leave it to me. Due to the several killings currently occurring across the lower decks, I've had any non-local troops be shuffled and redeployed as countermeasures. Furthermore, my private guard have continued to observe strange behavior surrounding Prince Hockenberg's camp and have sufficient evidence and viable motive to suspect him of presumptuous murder, which the person now chain cut off, split up the remaining troops from the one giving them orders. Exactly. If the enemy's ability is powerful, then the best strategy is to not allow him to use it. National Naval Regarding Board, Special Duties, Pelican, Kaiju, Judicial Branch, Criminal Investigation Department, currently assigned. National Naval Regarding Board, Special Duties, Section Chief Advisor, Stainer. Kaijin Judicial Branch, Criminal Investigation Department, currently assigned. Then Prince Hockenberg has been restrained and confined. He has been isolated from his private guard and will be forbidden contact with them until the trial is over. But with Vito's current safety whereabouts unknown, it's extremely likely that he'll end up getting acquainted due to insufficient evidence and released under surveillance, just like what happened with Second Prince Camilla. The first trial will be there. The battle is fought. Yes, this may be our once-in-a-lifetime chance to get him out of the way for good. The Triton's Cannon. The time of two. Hey, Maverick, Dad called you. It's time to swap shifts. Okay, you're still reading that, haven't you finished it already? Yep. It's got so many famous song lyrics in it. Once I started reading them, I just can't stop. A song is really the best way to convey a message. Once it's in your head, it stays there, playing back along with the melody. Although this does the propaganda like points that they all make sense, and more importantly, the concept for each chapter, along with its song selection, is so carefully done. It's really interesting. I feel like I kind of underestimate Six Prince Titans. I need to reflect on that. The final chapter would, what a wonderful world, really guilted me. Suddenly, I find myself wanting to make Prince Titans king. But in order to do that, the other princes would have to be, but that would be completely contrary to Prince Titan's ideals. When I consider that, then I realize that these teachings may be the prince's last will and testament. An excuse of empathy is dangerous, Julia. I know that. You should read this too, Aizu. Do you think a life has ever been saved by oversensitive love? Don't come at me with your song quotes. As members of the Hunter Association, our mission is to protect the princes until we reach the supposed new country. As far as we're concerned, that's when the real problem starts, right? Well, I suppose you could say that. I can imagine that kind of tragedy will play out afterwards, but with our contact over at the point, can we just say good working with you, and leave just like that? I'm not very confident about that myself. Alright, see you later. Surprise! Happy birthday, Julino. My birthday still isn't for a long time. I know that. That's why it's a surprise, right? After all, by this say 2 months from now, we'll already have said our farewells, right? You're so lucky. You get to eat cake handmade by the prince. I'm so glad we met. Aw, what are you crying for, Julie? Come on, smile. That's an order. Yes, Your Highness. And though the amount of sugar and flour might be off a bit, I'm also ordering you to say it's delicious. Got it? Yes, Your Highness. 10:07. Long live Prince Benjamin Bang. Apart from that, nothing else really happened. But why here at room 10:07? I haven't the faintest clue. Was there anything out of the ordinary immediately following the gunshot? Not particularly. After all, it wasn't like anyone had gotten shot. After all, it wasn't like anyone had gotten shot and it happened outside the room. It's a waste of time asking. I'm an honest guy, so I'll tell you straight out. We're not telling you nothing. As I thought, nobody's gonna go out of their way to offer up their information, and there's no guarantee that whatever information they do have is worth offering in the first place. If there was some meaning behind Shiku's killing himself in front of room 1007, the only thing I can think of is a diversion plan. Get everyone from inside focus on what happened outside the room and fulfill the objective within that opening. In that situation, the most likely would be a plan through Second Queen's Dezuru's officer. Prince Hockenberg used Queen's Dezuru's officer in room 1007 to do something during the insurance commotion, the chaos of the suicide. But what was it? If they were going to go through this much effort for something such.
Give me a moment. Let me grab a pen and piece of paper.
If they were going to go through this much effort for something such a large scale, it wouldn't be worth it unless the objective was assassinate 7th Prince Lazarus, right? Fafu, Hachu, Ren, Odis, Gadu. At the time, not counting Saboteur, there were 5 of Queen's Dazuru's family guard in that room 1007. Immediately following the gunshot, Firmu was in my field of view. Hapish and Rig were on guard duty in the living room. Aldous and Garu were asleep in the break room. If someone were going to try something, it would be those two in the break room. In the break room, Private Guard McNary and Skull from the Hunter Association were also sleeping. Perhaps Odez and Gaku took advantage of the commotion and did something to one of those two. God damn, this just keeps going on and on. Okay. I've concluded that all 6 of Dazu's officers in room 1007 were not Nen users, but I can't conclude to the same degree that Fukori can, with a certain amount of skill. I've concluded that all 6 of Queen's Dazu's officers in room 1007 were not Nen users, but I cannot conclude to the same degree that Fukori can, with a certain amount of skill, it would be possible to pose as a non-Nen user and fool me. Is that so? Then, if I were to question the 4 people that were asleep, they may find out that I realize that possibility. Keeping a close eye on them while watching over everything else is possibly best. If my theory is right, then it's possible McNay has been manipulated into assassinating Prince Lazarus, which is perfectly fine for us, so we've no reason to interfere. McNary is assigned to guard Prince Lazarus. Goddamn, 24 minutes, and I have to cut some out because of stuff, but assigned to guard. This afternoon, that would be when would act if they're trying to finish this quickly. But it doesn't really look like that's going to happen from my point of view. With the Hunter Soul sleeping right nearby, I think it would be hard for anyone to be pulled off. But if we're trying to investigate the actions inside room 1007, wouldn't it be better to pour all our efforts into getting rid of Prince Hockenberg? If he places himself in the judicial branch proceeding and start acting clean and proper, there's no way he's going to end up with a guilty verdict. Unless it's a matter of national danger, the military doesn't interfere with judicial matters. But with the First Prince's authority and influence, depending on his inspiration, it's more than possible to get a court mandate in his favor. Man, democracies are strict. I applaud the prince and captain for having so much self-restraint to keep up with the formalities. If it were me, well, I'm the type to pull the trigger now and think up an excuse later. regardless, someone with the kind of personality wouldn't survive in the secession war anymore. Help me in investigating people behaviors at the time of the incident. Actually, I've considered the possibility of Queen Dazuru's officer planning something. Their ships are currently being adjusted. Maknae and Shulk will be placed under surveillance at persons of special interest. So you had the same idea, but Seven Prince Luxury was opposed to that opinion. Queen Dazuru policy in life in action. Her standpoint is not give help to any prince, regardless who asks for it. It's not like someone's not going to take action right in the face of danger, though. If they've been pretending that they were unable to use Nen this whole time, then that means that both of them must be considerably skilled beyond your guard, right? Or so you'd like me to think. And it just keeps going and going and going. Oh my god, this chapter is just full of fucking. This chapter is gonna be like long. It's gonna be like one of my One Punch Man chapters that were like 90 pages long. God damn. I give him credit. There's a lot of information here. I think all of you in Prince Benjamin's private guard are behind this. You're all in on it. And ability that Shiku's activated by taking his own life, which that kind of resolve using a Nen that increases its strength after death would have quite the considerable amount of power indeed. If I assume committed suicide in front of room 1007 was done in an effort to mislead the investigation, then Prince Hockenberg was framed for the crime. And they're going after the second, third, or fourth prince. The structure of organization feels no remorse at using his officers' lives as ammo after all. So it wouldn't be particular in the least that there to be many among them with post-mortem Nen. The most popular kind of post-mortem Nen is the kind that haunts the target after death, causing any manner of harm and ill fortune to befall. The haunted, but with these entrusted curse type abilities, if one like the Guardian Nen beast were invoked, you would be able to see it. Would a prince who already has a Nen beast attached to him be able to be haunted by yet another entity? Either way, for now, it's my only opinion to observe. The VIP area, Second Prince Cameo's civilians quarters. I want to hurry up and die already. What? Fucking. From the day I learned exactly why I was born, every day without fail, I've come to see you, so that we can be bound together in hell. I swear I will curse you to death. Second Prince Cameo's private guard, Marshal, in charge of First Prince Benjamin, so that Prince Cameo can become the king and the prosper. In ancient kingdoms, there were many funerals and entombed traditions, which involved people giving up their lives to be buried alongside another. In ancient Kakin, there was a specific tradition in this style known as afterlife companion. The afterlife companion was reserved for after a prince who was unable to become king had died, to watch over the prince in the afterlife and ensure that they would not become a vengeful ghost and haunt the king and country. A member of the opposite sex was selected to be buried and entombed with the prince. Although it was supposedly an honor to be the prince's companion, it was quite the opposite. In a class system where you were born into a class and of that class for your entire life, the companion forcibly chosen from the lowest tier of the Untouchables. The afterlife companion is now obsolete and unused, but those born as Untouchables are still forever locked into the class and will never be able to take public office, rise to higher level officers, or join the military. Huh. That's very neat in the slice. But Chameleon gave all of these Untouchables a chance to join her private guard. They received their own private land in a specific ward and granted the same status and rights as fellow soldiers. Along with the overwhelming support that these once discriminated people hold for Camellia, among her private guard, these naturally began calls for the afterlife companion system to be reinstated. This fused with the Nim powers and transformed into an incredibly potential assassination curse. Wow, there's a lot here. Fifth Prince, Tubig. Second Prince, Private Guard. As a demi-hunted guardian around the residential area, Jidu in charge of Tepeper's curse. Fourth Prince, Teranish. Second Prince, Private Guard, Hainor, in charge of Tsunarush. I'm sorry if I'm getting names wrong. Third Prince, Zhengli. Second Prince, Private Guard, Beckett, in charge of Zhang Li's curse. Ninth Prince, Hockenberg. Second Prince, Private Guard, Keku, in charge of Hockenberg's curse. Seventh Prince, Lazarus. Second Prince, Private Guard, Demi Hunter, Razim Masira, and curse of Lazarus curse. Sixth Prince, Tython. Second Prince, Private Guard, Burbina. In charge of Teteron's curse. 13th Prince, Mariam. Second Prince, Private Guard, Talian, in charge of Marlene's curse. 11th Prince, Fugetsu. Second Prince, Private Guard, Demon Hunter, Mashusi, in charge of Fugetsu's curse. 10th Prince, Kachu. Second Prince, Private Guard, Demi Hunter, Mazubu, in charge of cutter target. Their name, photograph, clothing, and part of their body and curse your target. Stay as close as you can to your target for as long as a period as you possibly can. During this time, the greater your desire it, the stronger the curse will grow. When the evoker dies, the ability will be activated. Ideally, you should kill yourself in front of your target's eyes. It is obvious that Shiku's was not an untouchable of Kakin, but it's possible that he was an instructed curse type user like us. Prince Hockenberg's private army was made up of people from many countries with most unknown birthplaces. It would not be all that surprising if there were a few among them with their circumstances similar to our own. If a curse even came from Prince Camellia, Second Prince Private Guard, Captain Shisu, in charge of 14 Prince Wabu's curse, I would happily give my life in order to remove it from her. Second Prince Private Guard, Umema, then Exorcist. That's right. So then we really don't have to become afterlife companions. Second Prince Private Guard, Neku Khan, firmly in charge of 8th Prince's Silsil's curse. I mean, we're totally ready and willing to. It's just Second Prince Private Guard, Kavish, firmly in charge of 12th Prince Mazuma's curse. We will use our lives not for the sake of a dead prince, but for the future of Prince Camille. We who were even considered people were given purpose and will be Camille's. Those who are no longer in charge of a curse go snoop around the enemy's people and figure out if they have a nen exorcist or not. We who have eaten the food and of the dead have gained the special nen ability of Kekin's Untouchables. Carry a small blade together with something connected to your target, and pray for them to be cursed every day without fail. Then burn the object carried and boil the ashes and drink them. Afterwards, kill yourself with the blade and the curse will be invoked. Whatever you do, ensure that you do not cause any more trouble for Lady Camellia. Yes, ma'am. Those haunted by the curse then will have their aura stolen. The most powerful curses will force the target into a state of Zetsu and then bring death within a few hours. Holy crap. With still so much unknown about their princes, this is still not the last page. Beast abilities. To send a curse after the upper ranked princes would be risking it all on a gamble with a very high chance of failure. But if it goes well, with a curse, even if it gets exercised, will have been able to lure the Hunter Association and exorcists out into the open. Should we go for 10th prince, 10th or 11th prince, or maybe the 13th? My prince, the 14th, hasn't spent long enough building up the curse yet. Call Fuku Kiku, the head servant, here. Here I am. Damn, that was fast. I wanted to send out a curse to some of the princes today, but I want to leave the curse target alive for a few days to confirm whether or not the Hunter Association has a nen exorcist. Out of Mozubo, Mashu, Talui, who do you think is the most qualified? If you were going to send the curse from this room, then all three of them would take about 3 months to kill with the curses. If you were to send it from room 1002, Mazuba would take 10 days. The others would take about 2 weeks. Captain, the 10th and 11th Prince have both been detained in the Judicial Department for attempting escape, and according to some of our sources, there are even rumors that someone has died. What? If they died, then the door would be sealed, wouldn't it? If they're in the Judicial Department, then it would take over half a year. So then we're left with Thales in charge of the 13th Prince, taking 2 weeks. Please wait. My estimates are made assuming that Prince is defenseless, But your target is being protected by a guardian beast, a great guardian beast, who has protected the glory of the royal family through generations and generations. If you tried to stealthily send a curse at them from your own territory, as if they were some careless, helpless commoner, it would snuff out such an insolent attack with a single glance. We Untouchables have no such mental or determination in order to compete against such a powerful guardian beast's desire to protect the royalty. If you were to successfully fulfill the killing curse, you'll need the resolve to get close enough to touch the prince's skin directly and kill yourself while the target stares fixedly at you. Why the heck didn't you just say so to begin with? You're a real jerk when you want to be, Granny. Squeezing out wisdom is a strength on par with experience. I apologize for the roundabout discussion earlier, but I've got to teach you right. It's the job of the young to skin their knees and the job of the old to bring the medicine. Before their eyes, indeed. Actually carrying this out is going to involve considerable amount of difficulty and a lot of resolve. Alright then, I'll do it. If I curse the fourth prince from right beside him, even with the short time period spent incubating, it should still unleash a powerful curse. I know that Prince Camillus hates asking for anything or taking handouts and wanting nothing to do with the classes. But if it will lead to our objective of killing a prince with a curse, I'm sure she'll give me permission. The hunter in room 1014 is teaching Nen with the goal of causing a stalemate. If that's true, then there should be a second round of classes too. When that happens, I'll be going. Being in close means the enemy's fangs can also reach you. Being too openly hostile is extremely dangerous and can wind up getting you killed. You're telling me to steel myself, right? Love and hate. I'll use my love to silence the sound of my hate. That is my specialty. If you slip and fall while going down the hill, you won't be getting off with just scratches. You just never run out of your little reminders, do you, Granny? But they'll all guiding me to the right path. Don't worry, I'm awake now. Indeed, I may have been playing the joking clown of a soldier for a while there. But I am untouchable. Even if I fail, I have nothing to lose. Great. This is the last page. And thus, as of God damn it, I'm up to 40 fucking minutes. Oh my god. And thus, as today, everyone who took the course has had their Nen abilities awakened. He was able to carry them to take their first steps in activating their Nen abilities by the final day. Having acquired it yourself, how do you feel? 10:03. Physically, I feel myself rapidly growing stronger, and the way I see the world has quite literally changed. So then, can you see my guardian beast right now? Yes. It's far more divine and grandeur than I ever imagined. Well done. Here. Take this for your reward. What is it? A coin. Created by my spirit beast. You will be the first person to receive the first coin. Thank you. I'm so thrilled. Though I've got the real first coin, the number has increased to 10. A still yet unknown ability. Hunter x Hunter. Chapter 389 end. Oh my god. So much information. But we can expect nothing less from Hunter x Hunter. A lot of Nen abilities. The Untouchables. Their plan is to sneak in with Kurapika and curse the prince, which could end up bad in the long run. So we'll probably find out next chapter. Sorry for this being so long. This is 9 out of 10 chapter. But what else can I do? These chapters are usually long. Otherwise, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good night, wherever you are. Just have a good day. Hopefully I see you guys next video. If you like the video, give it a like. If you're ever subscribe to the channel, recommend subscribing to the channel. Keep up all the content. Otherwise, this has been Mr. Crazy Dean. Sign off. Have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good night, wherever you are. Just have a good day. Hopefully see you guys next video. Peace.